42 κομμάτια. Μου κάνεις την καρδούλα μου σαν νιώθει στα 42 κομμάτια. Τρία παιδιά βολιωτικά. Τρία παιδιά βολιωτικά. Μας πήραν την Ανούλα, Ανούλα μας γλυκιά. Μας πήραν την Ανούλα, Ανούλα μας γλυκιά.
Start with a talk about sacred dance, a path, walking the path of the heart. And it is, of course, not by chance that I speak to you about the path of the heart in connection with sacred dance. I want to remind you of Bernard Woezin's and my visit to Findhorn in 1983. And in Findhorn, and in his speech about sacred dance, he said then the following: out of the silence of the attunement, an idea was born in my heart. The idea of Meditation des Tanzes, sacred dance. Dance as a walking into silence and as a meditation in movement. And then Bernard Woezin continued, when I first received an invitation to Findhorn, I had a happy presentiment there. I felt I could teach a large number of the beautiful circle and line dances of ancient Europe, which show their religious origins through their forms and symbolic content. We are quite often asked, why and with what justification do you call your dances sacred dances? To link the quality of sacred or sanctifying with dance is shocking, especially to those who consider themselves Christians. Anyone who thinks dance is incompatible with all that is holy simply project their own dark shadow or shadows onto something that is basically completely neutral. I take my thing here. We are sensuous spiritual beings who can express and reveal all inner emotions of the soul through the medium of dance, just as this is possible through music. The dancer belongs to the universe. Those who do not dance do not understand what is going on. By the way, Woezin choreographed not only the mystery play, the Hymn of Jesus in and for Findhorn, but also the dance cycle Theseus in the Labyrinth, as well as the choreographic interpretation of the Pentagon. I published a CD and a booklet with Bernard Woezin's dance notations and his talk about the Pentagon. Hussein pointed out that dance, as the most ancient expression of art, is an esoteric path. The work of the dancer is work from within, based on God's image. So our dance should be our prayer, not only in the silent steps of the Andante, but also in the joyful leaps of the Allegro Vivo. I'd like to show you the dance Edorim Kala, a moment of love.
And how can love have come to you? Came it like sunshine, like blossom shine? Came it like prayer? Oh, tell me. A piece of luck, shining from heaven, came down and hung with glorious folded wings on my soul, made radiant and joyful.
Okay, this connection, yes, reconciliation of the two areas, dance and religion, which were so important to me from childhood, but which seemed incompatible, worked like a revelation. When we dancers meditate, we do so in movement. Our tradition is one of an explosive rather than an implosive kind. This is a movement outward from within. Our body is the temple with which we express something divine from within. And my daughter Saskia is now dancing the dance Hallelujah, No One Like You. Each religion has its own ideal, which can only be grasped and understood with the heart. The path to unity leads inwards, through the heart, through love. It works through us, and our whole life becomes a unique vision of God's perfect beauty, which is unity. In many traditions, the heart is considered the seat of emotions. Heart thinking is an ability that people in ancient times possessed in an unconscious way. It was connected with a certain sense of truth. Even Aristotle still regarded the heart as a central organ of thought. At the same time, however, he has also laid the secure basis for intellectual thinking with his logic, which is no longer centered in the heart, but in the head. However, the mind divides, the heart connects. The heart wants to be happy with itself and with others. The heart is the driving force, the joy and vitality in social relationships. In the future, I hope a new way of thinking will develop. Theodor Fontane expressed it as follows: think with the heart and feel with the mind. It is the task of each one of us to transform head knowledge into heart wisdom in the course of his/her life, a knowledge in which the whole person is involved, transforming the head person into the heart person. In this way, one can learn to feel with the head, to think with the heart, and to live from the spirit. The ability to turn inward, to think with the heart, to communicate with one's own soul, to meditate and pray is essential in sacred dance. One result of this experience is an inner joy and a feeling of happiness that would like to be shared with others. No doubt, Corona has put the world in a state of emergency. Hardly any other crisis has affected our everyday life so strongly. I share the dream of the Japanese best-selling author Haruki Murakami that we can transform the pandemic crisis into a better world through art, through music and dance. During this difficult time, I created new dances and published 3 CDs with dance notation books on the subjects Esperanza, hope, Tides of Life, and Solidarity. Saskia will dance Arise My Love from one of these CDs.
Arise, my love, my beautiful. May your voice be heard in this land. Do you dare to take my hand? Arise, my love, my beautiful one. Maria, ageless and warm. For the shadows that haunted your dreams in the night can reveal to your heart their wonders inside. May your voice be heard in this land. Do you dare to take my hand? Fear keeps you away when it's love that calls you to
My book, Dance in Sound and Deep Silence, has been published in Germany and in Brazil by Renata. The literature professor Ingeborg Weber wrote in her feedback, Friedel, even if you believe that you have said all the essentials with and through your dances, your readers owe you a reading gift that not only informs but touches the soul. My book has also another triad. It is first dancing as a process of self-discovery and my passion as a dance teacher and choreographer. Second, searching for peace and harmony, dancing for peace. And third, dancing for the children of the favela. Some of the chapters are named Attunement Ritual, Dance as a Prayer, Méditation en Croix, about beauty and grace. Dreams are forms from infinity. To know is to have, to recognize is to be. And the encounter with the dancer, ballet master, and choreographer, Professor Bernard Hussin, his legacy and mission. Look to the Stars. It's an article from my daughter Saskia, and it is about the ballet training related to the planets. And I write also about some of my choreographies, and I created more than 220 dances and their backgrounds, and I write about their backgrounds, such as numerology, geometric forms, etc. And you can see something about geometric forms in the women's dance. Of this dance origins from Bernard Hussin. He made the women's dance, he choreographed for the Pentagon, the cycle, the Pentagon. And he made a drawing, and there he has all the symbols. It's the circle, it's octagon, it's the 5-pointed star, it's pentagon, it's pentagram, and it's the 8-pointed star. So they are all in this dance. But Bernard Hussin just danced the women's dance going around the circle. And I realized there are 5 bars and 4 bars. So for me, it was the music also that inspired me to choreograph all the symbols he gave and painted. And you see the lines that are there is by an astrologer. He takes these pictures and then he shows you how Venus, the connection and the Venus starts and develops. So that would be nicer if you could see it in movement, but I just have the pictures. Okay. It is exhilarating to meet soulmates, people to whom the symbolism is intuitively accessible. On the other hand, it is difficult when dancers approach things exclusively with pure logic, because daytime consciousness tends to narrow the view. Often, after trying to explain gestures or the dance, it seems to me that everything is slipping away from my hands. that I'm wiping the brightly colored shimmer from the butterfly's wings. In my book, and also in my workshops and trainings, I devote myself not only to providing a casual, rational transfer of knowledge about sacred dance, I also use many lyrical texts and poems as a source of inspiration. For me, dance, music, and poetry are closely linked and form a unity when I want to symbolically express what touches and moves me. The dance is my way of expressing myself before the word. It is my innermost element. Originally, the term lyric refers to chants that were accompanied by a lyre in ancient Greece. Poets who were inspired by dance, and especially those who dance themselves, are always close to me when choreographing. Because dance must be filled with content and should not be a liberation for or to something, not just should be a liberation for or to something, not just from something. Here, the unity of word and movement is of great importance. We are working with a very precious, intimate substance when we dance, and when we dance in the way we are attempting to. It is something close to our hearts. Yes, it is something we give out and offer to others, share with others. We have to be aware that this demands discipline and awareness so that we can show to the world something that has been created out of love. Bernard Vozin's, Saskia's, and my roots are in classical dance. Therefore, meditation of the dance, sacred dance, implies a training in self-discipline, self-awareness, in the sense of knowing yourself, and aims at the harmony of body, mind, and soul. The system of the classical school, the path of apprentice, journeyman, master, incorporates a spiritual discipline which is applied to the body. The techniques which relate to it are a teaching of harmony and balance, moving between the two poles of stillness and movement. It appeals to the homo religiosus in us. Originally, the dance is rooted in the cult, and with meditation of the dance, I want the awakening of this primal relationship to new life. Therefore, it is of great importance to me and a matter close to my heart to teach people to dance and not only steps and dances. But there is something else that is very important for the concept of meditation of the dance, sacred dance. So important that alongside dance and sound, it forms the third part of the triad that I have chosen as a title for my book, namely Deep Silence. I always start a dance day with an attunement. Music can lead into silence, and we can even say that sound can make silence audible and can teach a particular kind of hearing and listening. When music and dance are brought together in harmony, it marks the beginning of a new consciousness, or even applying a kind of therapy. Dancing for peace in the world is an affair of my heart. I invite dancers worldwide to dance on September 21st, which has been declared by the UN General Assembly to be the World Day of Peace. I organize big peace dance festivals, for example, with a Grammy Award winner, Joan Shenandoah, and I published a CD, Wishing You Peace, with 12 peace dances as a document for my personal commitment. Very important is for me also dancing for the children of the favela. My wish to help needy children came to me on the day of my first Holy Communion. I was 8 years old, a war child. My father had died in the war, and my family had lost everything in a bomb attack. When Saskia and I danced in Brazil, the fees of the workshops went into our projects in Rio and Recife as a donation. But dance also played a major role within the projects themselves. The dance changed the self-image of children and young people. One of our boys wrote, "Every morning when the sun is reborn, I think of you not only because you give us money, but because you believe in us and trust us." I want to finish with a quote from Anna Pavlova, my great role model as a dancer since childhood. "Dance more, my friends," and she urges, "let's become a world of dancers, because the true dancers always strive for higher beauty. And wherever the ugly is replaced by the beautiful, we dance a little closer to happiness and perfection." Thank you.
Thank you, Friedel. What wonderful knowledge to have on the centerpiece. I really appreciate you coming and being with us and helping us realize our roots of sacred dance and understand your roots of sacred dance. So thank you so much for coming and being with us this evening.
You're welcome.
And we'll hopefully see you soon again and at some point, Friedel.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll let you go for now and I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
I would like to start many, many years ago, because exactly 45 years ago, the last weekend in June 1976, I met Bernhard for the first time. And this is 45 years ago. I was 3 years old at that time. Now I'm 48, as you can easily see. And Brand, you started with Anna Smithers and with Kalamatianos. And these two, plus one more, are exactly the dances I remember from that evening when I met him first. I was invited by a friend of mine whose birthday it was on that day. And so she asked me and some others of our flat, of our group, we were sharing a flat at that time, studying in Marburg, at Marburg University. And she said, well, you people must come with me to Bernhard. It's my birthday wish. Of course, we went with her, and we went into Saturday night into an academic room, which did not really look academic in that night. There was haze and hoppers and many people and many circles in the room, and they all were hopping and dancing and having fun. But one person I could not see, that was Bernhard. Gisela, who was the woman who asked us to come, she said that is, well, kind of about 70-year-old man, white hair, and I couldn't see him because he was not in the circle, he was not dancing, he was singing, sitting beside all the people and drawing. And many of you know all the fantastic pictures of Bernhard from the book, from Gabriele, from Friedel, from me, presenting pictures of Bernhard to you. And that was really, really great, seeing that person, that man, no drawing, not painting. Yes, and at one point, of course, he jumped into the circle, did Kalamatianos with us, and one dance we cannot do tonight. Some of you may know it. It is Spinnradel, which is a Bavarian dance. I did it many years ago when I was in Brazil, and it's really good fun. But at the moment in Corona times, it's a little difficult with 3 people doing Spinnradel, maybe some other time. So, and then at the end of the evening, we had a very calm and silent moment. And then he started a piece of music now I know it is Anas Midas, starting with the clapping of hands and with the stick on the floor, which was really kind of mysterious for me. And I saw all these people and the candle in the middle of the room, all these people knowing what would come. And I just went with them, and it was a really good feeling just to be led by all the others in the many circles and many concentric circles doing Anas Midas. And this was the end of that evening. Now, apart from all these memories of the first evening, what I find very important for me is in sacred circle dance is that within one dance, within each of the dances, I learned very many traditional dances and of course Bernard's choreographies, but many traditional dances. And within each dance, you can see, you can experience the art of movement. And that really touched me. And this I did not realize, of course, on the first evening. That took me years, fantastic years in Marburg, about 10 years. I was with him in Marburg and in other places of the world. So that in each of the dances, he showed me a world of movement. And what also is very important for me, each of the dances for him was kind of a celebration. So celebration was a very important point. I cannot remember any of the many workshops he taught in Marburg without a party, a celebration, and celebrating movement, celebrating the dances, celebrating the group of people and celebrating ourselves was very exciting for me. And of course, I took it to any place where I danced with people and where I taught people. So celebration and the world of movement in each of the dances, and with the many, especially traditional dances, I also felt that the wisdom of the people of a village, of the villagers who dance these dances all their lifetime. And of course, we all know many, many, many dances, and we can dance Brazilian dances and Greek dances and English dances and choreographies and whatsoever. But if I go to some of my really favorite Greek villages, I see these people dancing 4 or 5 dances all through all their life. And that is something which is really very impressive. And usually, yes, most of you who I have met already before know this impression which I always have to bring into the world. That is really so important, that these people, on the one hand, with the village, do that dance in the simple way which everybody can follow. And then in special moments, if there are not too many people like me, that is to say people like tourists, like people from abroad or people from other countries, if they feel safe, then they are free to show the village and the people who they are, how they feel, and also are kind of role models for their children and their grandchildren. And this is the way they bring all these dances into the world. And this is really giving the dance from one person to the next generation and to the next but one generation and so on. And that is for me tradition, and that is for me very, very, very special moment. So you can tell, looking and listening to me, that I'm really touched, and I'm really touched to be able to tell that again to those people who know me and to the many others I do not know.
So Fido, I wondered
Yeah.
if you'd like to show quickly your pictures before
Yes.
we move on. It's so lovely to hear that story. I can imagine you being in the room and looking for Bernard. So let's show this wonderful picture that you have. Here we go.
Yes, this is my oldest photo. You can see at that time I was 3 years old, and Bernard was about 27 something. It was in 1977. I do not have any photo from 1976, but in 1977, and you can see two funny noses. This is my dance partner Uli. With her, I do Oberek on the party of Bernard's 19th birthday. That is Uli. We do Oberek, and this I love. It's a Polish dance. It's the fastest of the 3-4 dances. Like the slow one is Kujawiak, and then Mazurka, and the fast one is really that is again a celebration to do that. And then we have, yes, that's Brant, what you asked me to do. And there is the poem, of course, which also everybody knows. But as you are presenting it, I'm going to read it to you. First in English. You who move the world now move likewise me, lifting me up high from earthly depths to you. I dance a song of silence to music of the spheres, and as I set my foot at heaven's very brink, I feel your smile touch me with joy.
Beautiful.
And the German words, well, yes, the German words are, it is the song of the dancer, Lied des Tänzers. Der du die Welt bewegst, bewegst du nun auch mich. Du greifst mich tief und hebst mich hoch zu dir. Ich tanze ein Lied der Stille nach kosmischer Musik und setze meinen Fuß am Himmelsrand entlang und fühle, wie dein Lächeln mich beglückt. And what I really want to, well, to tell you, most of you know who did all the translations from Bernard's book into English, and also a few of my texts into English. That is Jill Welfare. And she is so, well, there's so much empathy, so much feeling for language, so much feeling for the dance, for Bernhard, for all these ideas and impressions. I'm really very touched. So that is about the translation. Jill Welfare, isn't that a fantastic name, Welfare? So that is the book, The Journey of a Dancer, and the complete English one. There is a very small booklet which was published many years ago. That is not complete, and then there is the dancer caminho para a totalidade, which also, well, totalidade, that is also very important, the wholeness of the movement and of everything. That is in Portuguese, not complete, but most of the important things of Bernhard.
Well, Fido,
Yes.
that's amazing pictures of you when you were very young, and it's just amazing to hear these stories. So thank you so much for coming,
Yes.
and please hang around at the end so people can chat to you. I'm sure they would love to talk to you.
Yes. So we will have other moments to meet. Thank you, Brand. Thank you very, very much. That is so great. And I haven't been to Findhorn for centuries, and I will come as soon as possible.
If you come, please come
Yes.
and dance with me. Please come and dance with me. That would be so good. I'll leave you for now, and thank you for coming.
Well, welcome everyone. I'm so glad to see you. So, what I'd like to say about the dancing and the music is that, uh-oh, I didn't mean to stop the video. Okay, is that since I play intuitively, I'm all over the place. I don't have a structure. And most dances is, you have 3/4 time or something. But with me, it just flows out. And I would love you to dance with this music in exactly the same way, that however you feel moved in the moment, please just move freely. And I hope this works. And if not, we're going to give it a great try anyway. So. So I just connect to the source and to myself and to you and see what comes out.
dancing to this.
Wow, that was amazing, Beth.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, we really enjoyed this. I've seen many people
hear 'em.
dancing and just moving their bodies, which is amazing. I also
No, can't hear.
just want to point out that you can see Beth playing nightly, and it really helps anxiety. Anybody who's got anxiety or is struggling with any of these, it's been a hard year, so it's been really nice just to watch Beth and feel that movement within when you need to, because she does so much online. You can catch her on Facebook. I'll put her links in so you can all come to her place. I also want to point out Sweet Baby James. This guy is like the reason these people are on is because they're linked to Findhorn, of course. He was a member of the community for a long time, and I just wanted to point out that the connection here for Findhorn. So it's really lovely to be with you, James, as well. And I just want to say hello.
Well, what was so amazing is that James heard from Brant, who had seen me online, and he said, "Oh, this guy wants you to play," and he was sure that it was because he had been at Findhorn 40 some odd years ago,
Right.
but it wasn't. It was just a coincidence. And then Brent finds out that James had been at Findhorn, and it just made such a lovely circle. So I know
Yes.
you guys are running really late, so I think I should probably stop. But yes, please visit me on Facebook and YouTube and my website.
Under
and
Granny Rocks.
under Granny, Beth Green is where you'll mostly find me. And also, just yesterday, I released my first album of solo piano improvisations. I've done other albums before of other kinds of music, and
Yes.
that's called Peace Beyond Reason. And it feels so connected to what you guys are doing, because I can do the most tumultuous music and very discordant. I didn't play really discordant today, but sometimes I do. And people say, "Well, that was so peaceful." And I think, "What?" and But you, this audience, would understand that, because it's peace beyond reason. It has to do with the heart and the soul. And I really appreciate all of you.
Σαμιώτησα, Σαμιώτησα, πότε θα πας στη Σάμο. Σαμιώτησα, Σαμιώτησα, πότε θα πας στη Σάμο. Πρώτα θα ρίξω στο γυαλό, Σαμιώτησα, 30 φύλλα στην άμμο. Πρώτα θα ρίξω στο γυαλό, Σαμιώτησα, 30 φύλλα στην άμμο. Σαμιώτησα με τις ελιές και με τα μαύρα μάτια. Σαμιώτησα με τις ελιές και με τα μαύρα μάτια. Μου κάνες την καρδούλα μου, Σαμιώτησα, 42 κομμάτια. Μου κάνες την καρδούλα μου, Σαμιώτησα, 42 κομμάτια. Τρία παιδιά βολιώτικα. Τρία παιδιά βολιώτικα. Μας πήραν την Ανούλα, Ανούλα μας γλυκιά. Μας πήραν την Ανούλα, Ανούλα μας γλυκιά. Yeah.